Good Thursday to you. We've some terrific stories for you today on Ag AM in Kansas. Here's what's coming up.
Today we'll once more discuss prescribed burns on the tallgrass prairie, starting with the strict air quality regulations in place to help minimize how smoke from the burn affects surrounding areas. Next, we'll see tips for people with asthma and similar conditions so they can limit their exposure to the smoke created by these burns. And finally, we'll learn about the Flint Hills Smoke Management Plan and website that helps farmers and ranchers schedule their burns. Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff Progress, powered by Kansas farmers. This segment is brought to you by Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego, just a short drive down the Yellow Brick Road.
Most of the prescribed burning in the Flint Hills occurs during late March and April. Air quality is also affected by daily activities in the city.
We have a very active air quality public education program that is focused on getting the public to take action to improve air quality. A lot of that is focused on trying to get people to drive less on high ozone days, to avoid the use of small gasoline engines, in other words, lawnmowers and weed eaters, because those cause a disproportionate amount of pollution.
There are strict regulations concerning air quality.
Generally speaking, if we get a lot of people burning in certain days of the year, usually it's towards the middle or end of April, and we get big plumes of smoke that are put in the atmosphere. If we have wind out of the southwest, out of the Flint Hills, that typically will drive smoke into the Kansas City metro area. If for some reason we have a front that comes through or a push from the northeast, you can push all that smoke back into the Wichita metro area. And so then it becomes a problem for them because they have guidelines with the EPA that they don't want to cross.
We're charged by the Congress with carrying out the Clean Air Act. It's one of the most important environmental protection laws that we Americans have put in place in the last 50 years. It's contributed tremendously to improving our health, our livelihood. We live longer because our air is cleaner, and it actually protects property too.
Yeah, fire produces smoke. So there's been a lot of work done in terms of monitoring that and keeping the fires on a level that it doesn't exceed EPA standards.
Prescribed burning is something that's gone on for a very long time in the Flint Hills. It's not something that I feel like can go away at this point, the way the land is managed down there. It's something that will probably need to happen for a long time. It does have an impact on downwind communities like Kansas City. There's a lot we are doing locally, but there's always more that we can be doing locally. So being cognizant of your day-to-day activities, chaining some trips together if you can, making sure that when prescribed burning is going on at the parks, if you have an asthma or another respiratory condition, try to stay away from those parks on that day.
The recommendations for people who have asthma, obviously see your doctor, get your asthma under good control. Well-controlled asthma is less likely to flare up. If there is a burn, try to limit strenuous exercise during the daytime. Also, if you have significant problems, stay indoors during periods of heavy burns. If it's hot outside, the air conditioner with the recirculate rather than the fresh air can be helpful to limit the exposure to the outdoor contaminants during the time when they're hot.
Many cities have a daily report which shows the current air quality. In Kansas City, that report is called the Skycast.
Mid-America Regional Council, which is the council of governments in the Kansas City area, issues a daily air quality forecast from April 1st through October 30th each year. That's called the Skycast, and basically it's a tool that people can use to know when high ground level ozone concentrations are expected. When we have moderate to high levels of ground level ozone, people who have respiratory conditions can take precautions to protect their health.
We have a Twitter account that we tweet the Skycast every day. We have a Facebook page where we post information. We have email lists you can sign up for and be emailed the information directly. We also put out press releases to all of the TV and radio stations. We do public awareness surveys every year, and something like 87% of the people find out about ozone alerts through TV meteorologists or TV newscasts. So that's a huge source of information for people. The Kansas City Scout message boards will show if there's an ozone alert the next day. It's usually posted in the Kansas City Star as well. We have a hotline. There are so many ways to find out about it.
The Kansas State University College of Veterinary Medicine is a leader in food animal research and education. Our researchers are constantly expanding the knowledge of animal health and food safety. Through the Veterinary Health Center and the Kansas State Veterinary Diagnostic Lab, we provide practical services for animal producers. Home of the Beef Cattle Institute, the college is committed to animal welfare training and research. The Kansas State University College of Veterinary Medicine, knowledge and service for the future of animal production.
This hog is head over hoof for meal made from U.S. soybeans. Now, one hog isn't that impressive, but suppose we add another, and another, and another. Before long, you've got billions of hungry customers around the world all clamoring for the same thing. Our soybeans. Learn more about the billion-dollar appetite of animal agriculture at BeyondTheElevator.com. Brought to you by America's soybean farmers and their checkoff.
Tar Waters has what you need for all seasons for around the farm and home. Working, hunting, growing, feeding, snow removal, even fun for the kids. And a service department with experienced techs to help keep your equipment in top running condition. Tar Waters has a huge selection and the best prices. Tar Water Farm and Home, family owned and operated since 1978. They have what you need.
Dr. Dan here. Whether I'm driving up and down the roads covering the state of Kansas, or I'm getting between Riley and Manhattan for my job, I'm driving a Ford truck. I'd like you to come out and visit my friends here at Dick Edwards Ford. They have a truck that'll suit your needs, whether you're looking for power with a Power Stroke diesel, or if you're looking for fuel efficiency with the new EcoBoost engine, they got a truck that's just right for you. They're located 2 miles east of the Town Center Mall in Manhattan, Kansas, and they'll bend over backwards to help you. And I'll see you down the road.
This segment brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Let's take a look now at what ranchers are doing to improve the air quality in urban areas.
The state of Kansas has come up with a management plan that allows the burning to be done in a responsible way to try to minimize the impact on the health of people who live in the urban areas.
The Flint Hills Smoke Management Plan and website was created by the cooperative efforts of countless people with many perspectives on the Flint Hills.
We knew we had a lot of different players that we needed to learn from.
And we were given the charge to go ahead and move forward and develop the plan. We pulled together a group of probably 50 to 60 interested parties. And there was also a smaller group that was tasked with the responsibility for actually writing the plan. By the end of 2010, we'd completed the task, and the plan was complete and was adopted by the Secretary.
I was involved in discussing the smoke management plan when it was very first getting started. And I think the really biggest importance in that is that it is farmers and ranchers working together to avoid legislation or regulation. It's important that we're still able to take care of the prairie. These grasses are really important to me personally and to my industry as a whole. And so we need the ability, the freedom to be able to use fire on the prairie. So in order to maintain that freedom, we've got to show people that we're doing our best to manage it and to use it in the proper way.
Well, here is the home page for the Flint Hills Smoke Management Plan. The web page was developed by the folks over at K-State Extension, and they host the web page. And so this way a rancher can make a more informed decision. He can have better understanding of where his smoke and the emissions from that fire are going to be moving. On the far right, it has a link to the modeling tool.
The main thing we look for on the website is the wind direction. They have some graphics that you put in your location and the amount of acres that you will burn, and it has a little picture of where your smoke plume is going to go. And you just make sure that your plume is not going to go over an urban area. And if it is, they have some little warnings that come up that say that the burn is not advised at that time.
We have the 2 days up here so that a rancher can look at the current day if he had planned on burning that day, but also can look at the next day. And if he happens to be in a county where for the current day the conditions are not good, that county shows up in red. If he looks on the next day and sees that it's a better day, either a yellow day or a green day, then hopefully he can delay for one day and burn on that better day.
We try to keep it out of the major metropolitan areas. We look at the smoke models to see if we're going to have adequate mixing height so the smoke will dissipate and get away, or if it's going to stay down low and just hang around a long time. We try to stay away from that if we can.
Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
We started using Multimin about 4 years ago. We started out first in our own cow herd and our own heifer replacement heifer program just to see how it worked, experiment with it. We don't like to put a new product out there with our clients unless we've tried it ourselves or there's a lot of data behind it that we like. We had really good results with it our first year, really are happy with the way things worked. So we decided to start using our clients, and we have been now for 3 years, and I would say 90 to 95% of our clients use Multimin.
Get ready for the Kicker Country Stampede presented by Verizon Wireless, starring Jason Aldean, Trace Adkins. 4 days of camping and country music at Country Stampede, Little Big Town. The Pistolantes featuring Ashley Monroe, Miranda Lambert, and Angelina Presley. Country Stampede. Take advantage of our current pricing. Advanced pricing for a 4-day ticket is $135. Prices go up June 26. More info at countrystampede.com.
Purple Wave is a proud supporter of the Kansas FFA through the Bid for Blue program. Purple Wave donates a portion of the proceeds earned on certain ag assets to the Kansas FFA. Winning bidders can designate a Kansas chapter to receive the donation. To date, Purple Wave is proud to have donated over $10,000. Visit purplewave.com to learn more and to place bids on Bid for Blue assets. Purple Wave Auction. Straight, simple, sold.
Soil is the life of a farm, and for 25 years, SureCrop Liquid Crop Nutrition has helped growers produce abundant quality crops while preserving and improving the soils they steward. SureCrop offers complete soil and plant analysis with cropping recommendations, delivery direct to your on-farm storage, and quality crop nutrition custom blended for your field. Choose SureCrop for the assurance of excellence for your soil. Call today or visit their website for more information.
American innovation is being driven in places you might not expect by people like Brent Hayek, an Oklahoma family farmer, who recently set a world land speed record in a Ford Super Duty pickup truck powered by renewable B20 biodiesel. Advanced performance is here, now, putting America on the fast track to more jobs and energy independence. Biodiesel, America's advanced biofuel.
Ag AM in Kansas is brought to you in part by K-State Research and Extension. Knowledge for life.
When my husband and I discuss and we decide it's time to burn, that sometime this week we've got a few thousand acres we need to burn, we will go to the website for the smoke management plan and enter in what we'd like to burn that day. You can say how many acres, the location of it. It also asks you what level of grass there is. So is there a lot of regrowth? Is there not very much regrowth? And it estimates then how much smoke that you're going to make. And then it takes into account the wind patterns. And so where will your smoke go? How much smoke are you going to create? The smoke management plan helps me to decide where I'm going to burn, which pasture, and how many acres.
They try to get into that window where they will not cause problems for metropolitan areas. Not always easy to do. And the reason it's not always easy to do is that an area in the Flint Hills may want to burn beginning in the first couple of weeks of April, and it's raining, or the wind is blowing at 35 or 40 miles an hour, or the wind is out of the wrong direction.
So if you just divide the number of pastures we have to burn by 30 days, it's pretty manageable. If you start dividing it by 20 or 15 days or 10 days, then you really have to get something accomplished in those days. And it puts quite a little bit of pressure on you to get a lot done when you have the opportunity.
The art of burning is more of an art than a science, and has to be monitored year to year, how much you're going to do, when you're going to do it, and all those kinds of things. And that also can be incorporated with a smoke plan to eliminate some of those problems.
We need to try in every effort, both sides, to find out what's going to work for both. We don't want to hurt human health or cause human health concerns with that burning, but also we don't want to drive through a woodland in the east central part of Kansas. We need to see that prairie and value that. With the little bit we have remaining, we need to try to do the best practices we can. We also need to be innovative. We need to find technologies that if burning is the issue, are there other things we can do, or timing of fires and more possibility of spreading out the timing of fire. And I think research is needed so that we can find out if there's more options.
We're all part of the prairie. The grass, the plants, the forbs, everything is part of this whole. And fire is part of the whole. It has to be there. And if you take that away from it, it's going to change everything out there.
The prairie grasses are very important. We need forage, we need food. And to have good forage, the prairie has to be burned.
Of course, there is an economic benefit to us. Cattle will gain more weight on burned range than they will unburned. But besides that, and probably the bigger picture, the tallgrass native prairie was formed and developed with burning. And if we do not burn the range, we will lose the tallgrass prairie ecosystem, and it will go away in a relatively short time.
All these ecosystems, especially again the Flint Hills, the prairies that we have, are not a static system. You can't just walk off and leave them or put a fence up around it and shut a gate and not do anything to it and keep it as a prairie. That will never happen. Over time, that thing is going to end up going to be some type of forest, is what it's going to end up being.
And without that fire, we will lose ultimately the tallgrass prairie.
We're really blessed here in the Flint.
Now another gardening tip with Annette Jackson.
If crabgrass was a problem in your lawn last year, and it is beginning to come up now, it's not too late to kill the crabgrass that's up and prevent any new crabgrass or weeds emerging. Let Jackson show you how to use a do-it-all product from Fertilome. Weed Out Lawn Fertilizer plus Crabgrass Preventer, only from Fertilome.
One bag of this great product covers 10,000 square feet and will help keep crabgrass under control until September this year.
Golf Week calls it the best course you can play in Kansas. But once you play, you'll want to stay. Go for it. Firekeeper Golf Course at Prairie Band Casino and Resort is just north of Topeka off Highway 75. Our stay and play package is worth the trip. Luxury hotel room, green fees, and golf cart for two, starting at just $169.
Prairie Band Casino and Resort. Go for it!
Roy Fry Western Lifestyles brings the cowboy or cowgirl out in all of us. With a huge selection of must-have items, it doesn't matter if you're shopping for your horse, picking up some Western accessories to add that rustic charm to your home, or simply treating yourself. The knowledge and expertise to dress you your Western best is right here at Roy Fry Western Lifestyles, Highway 24 and Kansas Avenue in Topeka.
This is the fast track to more jobs and America's energy independence. Advanced performance is here, now. Biodiesel, America's advanced biofuel.
Soil is the life of a farm, and for 25 years, SureCrop Liquid Crop Nutrition has helped growers produce abundant quality crops while preserving and improving the soils they steward. SureCrop offers complete soil and plant analysis with cropping recommendations, delivery direct to your on-farm storage, and quality crop nutrition custom blended for your field. Choose SureCrop for the assurance of excellence for your soil. Call today or visit their website for more information.
The Kansas State University College of Veterinary Medicine is a leader in food animal research and education. Our researchers are constantly expanding the knowledge of animal health and food safety. Through the Veterinary Health Center and the Kansas State Veterinary Diagnostic Lab, we provide practical services for animal producers. Home of the Beef Cattle Institute, the college is committed to animal welfare training and research. The Kansas State University College of Veterinary Medicine. Knowledge and service for the future of animal production.
This segment is brought to you by Santa Fe Trail Meats in Overbrook. Stop by or visit us at sftmeats.com.
We're really blessed here in the Flint Hills that we have one of the last pieces of the prairie, and I guess I feel like it's my responsibility to care for that, because not only is it my livelihood, but I also feel like it's just this really natural treasure, and it's my responsibility to take care of it. And if we don't burn, then we'll end up with invasive species like shrubs and scrubby trees, and then finally it ends with a deciduous tree. But frankly, we'll lose the prairie if we allow those things to happen.
It's heartwarming to see people working together on something that affects so many people. The models have shown smoke making it all the way to the East Coast from the Flint Hills burning. It's not just Kansas City that's impacted. There's a lot of other people that are impacted. So to see us addressing something that impacts so many other people is really, it's encouraging.
For more information, visit the Flint Hills Smoke Management Plan at ksfire.org.
I do have a very deep, abiding love for the prairie and a passion to take care of it.
People should visit a prairie right after a burn. I think folks should see a prairie and smell it right after a fire and see the blackened landscape, and then come back a week later and see as the green starts to kind of spread across the ground, and then come back a couple weeks later and it becomes a carpet of vegetation and just rich and full of color, and then come back a month later and see just how beautiful and green it is. And I think once you experience it and you smell it and you touch it, you'll realize why the prairie needs fire.
People who live in urban areas have a lot of air quality challenges. We know, for example, in Kansas City and Wichita, we're still not where we need to be in providing clean and healthy air for everybody who lives there. But I think when it comes to the smoke in the spring in that limited period of time, we're doing a better job every year of keeping that out of the equation.
Keep in mind that tallgrass prairie is considered to be the most endangered ecosystem in North America. Something over 96, 97, 98% of the tallgrass prairie is now in cornfields or other uses.
Fire is a necessary tool for maintaining grassland ecosystems. If we take it out of the picture, if we no longer burn, we will lose these grassland ecosystems flat out. There's just no way to maintain it without fire.
If you totally eliminate fire from the landscape, and at some point in the near future, you're going to get to a point where these grasslands aren't going to be existed because they're going to be covered with red cedar or Osage orange.
And if we want it to be here for the next generation and the next generation, then we got to do what Mother Nature did before we came here, and we've got to burn it quite often to keep the grasslands a grassland.
So the ranchers in eastern Kansas are really kind of stewards of one of the last pieces of the most important ecosystem in North America. Well, that was unique for EPA because those tall grass prairies don't really exist anyplace else in the United States.
Fire is very important in the prairie grasses. If there is no fire, there would eventually be encroachment of woody species.
Fire is critical to prairie chickens and other grassland birds because it keeps those trees out of the prairie. If you do not burn, you end up getting woody encroachment out into those grasslands, and what that does is provide habitat for the predators that prey upon prairie chickens and other grassland birds.
You can't mow it. You can't use a different type of practice to mimic fire. You might be able to do that some places, but not in the Flint Hills. There's too many rocks and the terrain is too rough, and so fire is the only way to maintain it, and it's too important of an ecological asset to lose.
Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff Progress, powered by Kansas farmers.
We'll have plenty more for you tomorrow here on Ag AM in Kansas. We're here every weekday, same time, same station. Or look for us on the web at agaminkansas.com. Eric Atkinson here for K-State Research and Extension.
To keep the tallgrass prairie looking like a tallgrass prairie.
Controlled fires not only protect the ecosystem and control woody plants, it's an important economic factor in grazing cattle.
Throughout